Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while. So I've been out of the garage for for a few weeks, taking care of some other stuff. But I'm back at it today, and while I should be cleaning up this giant mess in my garage here, a pile there, I'm gonna work on the Jeep instead. Part of what I'm gonna work on is taking care of stuff like you can see why I have cardboard underneath. Turns out that thing, if it holds oil, it leaks it. Regardless, engine, transfer case, whatever. So I was laying underneath that thing trying to tighten some stuff up, delaying the inevitable when I'm gonna have to just degrease, tear a bunch of stuff apart, replace a bunch of gaskets on inspection panels and whatnot. But anyway, while I was down there, I noticed I had a U-joint that was bad, and I thought it was getting loose. I have a replacement, but it is bad. So today, hope you guys can follow along here as I attempt to tackle what should be a really quick project of just putting a new U-joint of the rear drive line on the old Jeep. So follow along. Alright guys, so I'm utilizing my $10 creeper here. Let's get underneath the old Jeep. Oh my goodness, and you can just see how much of a disaster this thing is. It's bad when a guy has to wear his safety glasses. By the way, one more plug for ESS safety glasses, the best kind you can ever get. But a guy has to wear safety glasses underneath his rig just for the chunks of grime falling off of it. But here's what we're dealing with today. Okay, right in this joint right here. So we know that thing's worn out. The needle bearings are worn. There we go. You can get a good look at it there. Needle bearings are worn in here. And the fact that this has two flanges on it means we get to press out of two sides, but we'll try to do that. Show you some tricks on doing that. Until we get there though, I gotta rip this thing out. So I'm gonna undo 4 bolts here, come back here to the back, and I've got 4 bolts on my little U straps here to pull out. Once I get all those pulled out, then we'll drop the driveline out, go over to the workbench, and we'll try to press that old U-joint out of there and the new one in. So I'll be back in a flash with the driveline on the workbench. Okay, here we are as promised. Driveline on the bench. Tech tip of the day involves tape. You can use any kind of tape. Duct tape, black tape, Gorilla tape, masking tape. I'd stay away from Scotch tape. But you definitely want to put a strap of tape around the U-joint that you're not working on because, well, anybody who's gone and had to pick up roller bearings off the floor as you're trying to piece that back together knows what I'm talking about. So you just don't want the caps coming off. Okay, I'll set this sucker up and you guys can watch me struggle through pulling these clips out. And then I'll show you my one-man small garage technique of using my vise to press these guys out of here. So we'll get with that. So that actually went a little bit easier than I thought. I figured the fact that these are like on a crusty level 10 that there'd be a pain to get those clips out. But nonetheless, they're pretty easy to pry out of there. Now I'm just going to try to get the U-joint out. I'll press this thing out using the old poor man's trick of one socket that's small that'll push, another socket on the other side that's big that'll catch, and just push it to one side, pull the cap out, and be able to hopefully pop this U-joint out. And again, like I said, because it has this little flange on it, we get to do it twice. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so my plan here was just to put this in the vise with my 2 sockets on either side, but obviously my vise isn't big enough. So I'm going to try to do it, I don't know, maybe I'll get a little bit at a time. I'll just get this thing to push through first. And if I can get it to push out a little ways in there, and then maybe we can go from there. Let's see how this goes. it started to go. It can only go a little ways because it obviously hits the vise. So now I got to come up with some way of continuing to push that out while we catch it over here on this side. So, I think we can get creative and come up with something small enough to push that. So all I'm going to do is put a nut as a spacer here on the inside here, and then put this washer on the other side here. With any luck, this will all fit in there and continue to press. Let's see how this works. Yeah, there we go, it's working. Okay, so here we were a few minutes ago in the same position. Now it's just a matter of wrestling this guy out of there, which I should be able to do. Get the right angle on it. Anyway, so I'm going to dig this guy out of here, and then I'm going to repeat that process on pressing this bearing or the universal joint out of this top cap, and then I'll bring you back and we'll go put this thing back together. Okay, so now that we got those out, I got to do a quick little comparo, and it looks like it is to me. Not bad. Okay, comparison checks out good. Now I got to clean my hands up a little bit so that I don't grease or goober that one all up. I'll clean these pieces up some, and then we'll just reverse that process and mash it back in there. Okay, and so then the trick here, what I'll do is I'll get one of the clips in, and then I'll just push it up against that side. And then we'll jam the clips in from the other side. Okay, fit the clips back in. I could use the old ones, but I actually like these. And I have snap ring pliers, but these little needle nose actually work perfectly. Son of a gun. Alright, so as I showed before, hold it down near the part and then work it in. There we go. Snap ring number 1 in, and then all I'll do is I'll come in and I'll push that and make sure it's seated against that ring. There we go. And then I'll work the snap ring in this side. Come on now. Here we go. Seated, has motion. Here on the end it has the fitting in there. When I put it in the car, obviously I'll make sure that it clears, that it doesn't bind with anything as it rotates, and that'll be nice. That'll be nice to be able to grease that fitting. I'll certainly, once I get it put in there, give it a couple pumps of grease and make sure it's loaded before I put it back in the Forerunner or the Jeep. Okay, let's get on with this side. There we go. Okay, well, so that does it. I've got my new U-joint in. I'm going to go ahead and put the fitting in, and I'll grease it before I put it in the Jeep. And then all that's left after that is laying under that dirty old Jeep, bolting it back up, and then have to go test on it a little bit. Okay guys, under the Jeep, I got her buttoned up. New U-joint installed there in the front. The Zerk fitting I put is on the other side right here. But I greased that thing before I put it in, as well as I greased the fitting on here. And then the fitting right there on the rear U-joint as well. And then the only other thing I'll offer here is, remember, you want to tighten these straps down, but not too tight. You just want to get them snug so you don't crush the needle bearings in there. There you go. She looks pretty good, nice and tight. So that's it, man. You know, not quite as quick and clean as I hoped it'd been, but not too bad. And now we need to go do a little testing on it. And I'll tell you, this old Jeep, it's just been a blast. It's just been a good time. The little 4-cylinder Hurricane F134 engine. So, all right, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Glad to be back at it and making videos. We're going to start on this thing next. I got some paint to remove, some body to clean up, and hopefully we'll have license plates for this thing pretty quick. Hey, follow along. Hit the subscribe button. Like last time I checked, like 3/4 of the watchers aren't subscribed. So subscribe. I sure appreciate it. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.